Tired of the silence, the sugar-coated lies. Another headline screaming behind vacant eyes. They build up their walls, so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
All right. Hey, welcome to hashtag I'm going to say it. TGIF. Thank God it is Friday. Ordinarily, I wouldn't do a show on Friday. I take Friday off. But, we've been covering this whole Puffy Jacket trial. And this morning I was watching, I came across an old video. And it was Big Gene, who is Puffy Jacket's former security guard. And he was doing an interview with PBD podcast. And it was talking about the events leading up to the tragic night that the notorious B.I.G. life was taken. And, there's speculations that Puffy Jacket knew about it and had a part in it as far as it's happening. And even on yesterday's show, I was talking about how, in the case that's going on now, how the fingerprint cards were sabotaged, right? And how there was corruption within the LAPD. The fingerprints came from the incident at Kid Cudi's house. And I'm like, okay, well, were those officers or somebody that was part of the LAPD that was on the scene there? Hey, Bestie, how you doing? Hey, thank you for that TGIF, Philly. Good morning. Just popping in for a few. Today marks a year since my best friend of 14 years back. Oh, man. Okay, I know that's hard to deal with right there. Listen. We're going to keep you in our prayers for mental and just emotional, strength, because that's something that's hard to deal with, and that's something that it never goes away. That void will forever be in your life. So we'll definitely keep you in our thoughts and prayers, Bestie. Good morning, Bestie. How you doing, Philly? Glad you made it in. But one could believe that there was corruption within the LAPD, or someone within the LAPD that was on the scene at Kid Cudi's house that took these fingerprint cards and sabotaged them. And it made me wonder if that was something that happened in 1997. Did Puffy Jacket have people he knew within the LAPD that could make vital evidence in the unaliving of notorious B.I.G. disappear and go away, thus far hindering the investigation? And then there was a video that I watched yesterday where it was saying that Miss Wallace, notorious B.I.G.'s mother, was already saying, she stated that, and God rest her soul, but she stated that the LAPD knew who was behind the unaliving of her son. But they were purposely not letting information get out or evidence get out or be, uh, stuff like that. And then, like I wasn't sure, but I did find out I was correct. The officer, the detective that was working for the LAPD, Officer Poole, God rest his soul as well, got kicked off of the case, but he had already discovered that there was corruption in the LAPD. And as far as when it came or pertained to the unaliving case of the notorious BIG, there was officers on the inside that was hindering things and preventing things from coming out. So fast forward to this morning, and I came across this, and it happened like, I think it said 10 months ago, the interview with PBD Podcast. Shout out to them. But I'm listening, and I'm just trying to see if there's a way to, you know how something happens, and then you think back on it, and you wonder if it was something you missed, right? Philly says, I heard, that went up. That went up too fast. Hold on. Philly says, I heard about a brother from Detroit, can't remember dude's name, that Puffy Jacket set him up. Yeah, see, and that's where I'm at with it, Philly. I still feel that way. Philly says that he had Detroit Popo on his payroll too. Now, the thing about you saying that is in this very video, and see, that's what I'm talking about as far as missing stuff or not knowing stuff or how things were said that didn't seem relevant then, but now in the time that we're in right now, it is very relevant. And so let's just take that, what you just said. I'm just going to take that line right there, Philly, that comment right there, Philly, that he had Detroit Popo on his payroll too, because you're going to hear Gene Deal talk about them having or Puffy Jacket throwing bad boy parties or bad boy events or whatever here in Atlanta, in Detroit. And so, and to your point, you said Detroit there. But he also goes to say, leading up to this event, he got a phone call from, or got an intel from Unique from Mecca Audio. And, he said he called, I'm going to let you all hear it, but this is what I want you to listen for. He says that he called Kirk Burroughs and told him they needed more security out there. And Kirk told him that Puffy Jacket said he wasn't going to pay for any more security. Bruce H. Cooper says Gene need money clout. Okay. And so I'm thinking, why wouldn't he want more security out there? Gene says he was there. There's another person, and he mentions Paul, which we know is Uncle Paulie, right? These things have been stated already in the trial, right? So we know that. We know these things. What I didn't know is that there was more, because I thought it was a bad idea for them to be out there, and I think mass majority of us thought it was a bad idea to be out there because of the fact of what happened with Pac months prior, right? And his unalived. So, but Gene puts in perspective that there was actually more things that happened. Bruce H says Gene Heater. Hold on, because I feel like you're a bot, man, and you're not even making sense. To be honest, I think you meant hater though, right? Hater. Okay, I'm with you. All right. So there was more things that was going on that's taking place, and so it is even more reason why they shouldn't have been out there. And I wish I had a way, or I wish I knew how to play videos on here as I'm talking to you all, because it shows a picture in the video of the Suburban that Notorious B.I.G. was in, and you see the label or the sticker on the wheel that I was talking about and speaking about yesterday. But without further ado, we're gonna play. We're gonna play the audio, and hopefully the platform doesn't get temperamental and gets upset at maybe some words that are used in here. But before we do that, I have to put out our disclaimer.
Welcome to hashtag I'm Gonna Say It. All things said in today's show are alleged and for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are below the age of 18, we request that you leave the live now. Enjoy.
So we're gonna play this audio, and again, I hope we don't get in trouble from the platform, but this is it.
So what happens next with the relationship?
With our relationship,
With you and Puff, yeah.
we were cool, and we were going places, doing things as far as like going to different parties, different clubs, making sure doing Atlanta. He doing Bad Boy Weekend in Atlanta, Detroit. We going to fights and everything like that, and nothing. We just cool. Everything is fine up until the night Big got murdered.
What did you see that day?
When me and Puff touched down in California, we were going everywhere. You understand? He got connected with Sally Richardson, and we were going to the movies. We were going to the House of Blues, everywhere. So I called Kirk Burroughs, "Oh, your brains, I thought you said we wasn't going nowhere. Puff is going everywhere, and it's just me and him and the driver. You know, some guys might meet up with us and everything like that, but it was just me and him." He said, "Gene, I'll be out there. Y'all gonna be all right." I said, "All right, cool." Prior to that, I had got
Hey,
a phone
do me a
call
favor, Philly.
from a
Can
guy
you send me the
called-
link to it? Can you inbox me the link so I can go and check it out? I would love to. All right, that's a commercial. Please, if you don't mind.
Waynesworth Hall. I think it's Waynesworth Hall. His street name was Unique from Mecca Audio. He was a drug kingpin.
We love TikTok Shop.
He said, "Yo, Gene."
Okay.
Nah, the girl Dawn
Let me
called,
write that
called
down,
me.
then I'll Google
He said, "Yo, Unique is on the phone." And I said, "Yeah?" I said, "What's up, Unique?" He said, "Vest up," and the phone hung up. Because what happens is, and I found this out, that if the feds find out it's a three-way call, they'll click off. They'll hang up the phone some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So I called Dawn back. Dawn, I said, "Yo, Dawn, who was that?" She said, "I told you that was Unique." I said, "Unique from Mecca Audio?" Now, Dawn used to date Diddy, so I used to like, she knows a lot of people. So I say to Dawn, "Dawn, that was Unique?" She said, "Yeah, that was Unique from Mecca Audio. He told you, he said they coming out, they coming to get y'all." So I say, "Yo, wow, they coming to get us." So I called Kirk Burroughs. I told Kirk Burroughs we need more security. Because at the time, we only had myself, Kenny Story, and Paul. And Paul had hired a cop from Inglewood. We've only got 4 security out there. You know what I'm saying? And here we got Puff, Big, and they entourage, the whole 9 yards. So
Now, for those who don't know, Inglewood is a suburb of Los Angeles. It's a neighborhood, basically, in Los Angeles.
he tells me that Puff is not getting any more security. I said, "Wow." So the part where you was talking about I didn't have to go, I never spoke to Puff about what Unique told me because I had spoke to Chaz Williams a day after that. And Chaz Williams said, "Yeah, I'm hearing like they coming at y'all." Now I know.
Hey, Bless,
that there's
thank you for the
beef with
follow.
us
I appreciate
because
it.
of what the people think about Jake and what
Suge.
has something to do with Suge people.
Right.
I know it's beef because of what Big did to the people from the Dog Pound when he made that phone call and they shot up their Winnebago in New York. I know there's beef from this Muslim cat that Puff had an argument with in Soul Train. I just found out recently what that was about. And I know it's beef with the Tupac stuff that was about. And I know it's beef with the Tupac stuff.
Try it again. As I told you all, the platform, man, it's like whenever I ain't gonna say you. It's like I think it's just me. But whenever I'm trying to give you all these truths and you know things that come into play when it pertains to certain people, they cut me off for no reason. So that's what that was. I told you. We'll try it again. We're gonna pick up.
The fact
I paused
that
it, so we're gonna pick it up.
Pac is dead.
Right.
We love
You
TikTok
understand?
Shop.
And they said a Crip did it, and because
We love
we
TikTok
was
Shop.
rolling with Crips, they may have thought we had something to do with that. You understand what I'm saying? So now, I'm like this. I'm like, I know this is beef. So when I hear it from Chaz Williams, then I hear it from Unique, and he's locked up in federal jail in Colorado with El Chapo and them, you know, that type of prison. He gets a phone call to me. You understand? So now I'm like this. Wow, I got to tell Puff. Maybe I could stop
Grand
him from going
Rising,
to this
Bessie.
party and everything. So I come over to the Andre Harrell's house, and I say, yo, Paul, I need to speak to Puff. Puff says to me, Paul said, he's upstairs. I say, yo, Puff. He came down to the steps. It was him, Kim, they had white robes on. And I was laughing because it had BH on it.
We
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I said,
got shut
he stole
down.
that.
We ain't even
See,
started.
He took that damn
Jimmy.
robe out the Beverly Hills
It
Hotel.
wasn't even started good. They just shut it down, but we
It's
back.
classic.
So I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm looking at him, but I'm kind of laughing at myself. I was like, yo, he took that damn rose out the Beverly Hills Hotel. So he said to me, I said, yo, Puff, I got some intel, bro. He said, what's up, Gene? I said,
Hey guys, I just found
Another commercial.
I got some intel that people gonna come and try to kill us.
We love TikTok Shop.
He said, Gene, I don't want to hear that shit.
We love TikTok Shop.
I don't want to hear that shit, Gene.
Come on, man.
I
We
said,
love
you don't want to hear
TikTok
that
Shop.
shit. F what you mean you don't want to hear that shit? He said, yo, Gene, you ain't got to go if you don't want to go.
Hold on, because we already established that it wasn't enough. Deb, good morning, friend. How you doing? Are you feeling okay? Sharita, good morning, bestie. Let's point out a couple of things from here. It's already established that they didn't have enough security detail, as is. And now he's telling Gene, look, if you don't want to go, you ain't got to go. Which would mean that there still wouldn't be, it'd be even less security, right? Rita, good morning, Bessie. How you doing? I'm good today. I'm doing good, Bessie. Thank you for asking. Nia, is that Nia or Naya? Says morning, love to listen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Make sure you continuously come back and join us. You're taking more security away. And so I'm thinking to myself as I'm listening, like, is this Mr. Zay, the best DJ on TikTok? How you doing? My brother from another mother. How you doing today, brother? I'm thinking to myself, was that just the lack of knowledge, the lack of decision making on Puffy Jacket's part, or was it actually part of the design to have it to where there wasn't that much security on them, so that what happened could happen? If I'm making sense, if you get where I'm coming from.
And walked out the door. When I walked out the door, guess who's out there? The Notorious Big in this green Chevy Suburban.
The same one he was in that night.
D-Rock is playing up with Tone, and they got a Nerf ball playing with a
Jenny says
basketball
Bessie
goal
TT
doing like
keeps
that.
messing up.
I said, yo,
this is my
Big.
second time in here.
Somebody
yeah,
gonna try to
it
come
knocked
kill
me
us
off
tonight.
before. Like,
And Lil C's,
You know
who I
when-
hadn't seen all week. You understand?
you know how I be when we start truth telling on here. Charlie Sprinkles, peace, brother. How you doing? You know how I get on here.
Lil C says, Gene, go ahead on with that cop shit. You always think you know something. I said, I know one thing. You better get you a GED. You know what that is? A good enough
Right,
degree.
Bessie, right.
So they don't cheat you out your money like they doing your man right here. And I was talking to about Big, because I had read his whole contract on the plane, because Puff had gave me the briefcase. When he gave me the briefcase, you know, like he just do some bullshit, hand me the briefcase, and went to first class, and I went to coach in the
Hey, Tiffany, good
emergency
morning.
exit. And I
TGIF.
just open it up.
Thank you for that
Start
heartbeat,
reading the
love.
shit.
I appreciate
So I'm
it.
saying, because at the end of the contract, Big was begging for his, well, he was asking for his publishing and his marketing back, and Puff was saying in the contract, we'll revisit that at a later date. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just reading this story. I got 6 hours on this plane.
Yes,
I'm going to go
yes,
through
thank
whatever's
God
in
it's
this
Friday.
briefcase. So that's what I did. So I said, so they don't cheat your man out your money right here. And Big said, yo,
Charlie
Gene,
Sprinkles, thank you
I'ma
for
have
that heartbeat,
Rock
brother.
and Tone hold
appreciate
you
it.
while Lil C's get his shit off. I said, all that shit
Give it up for
sound
Charlie
good.
Sprinkle.
It may make you feel good.
Becoming the
but it won't be
25th
healthy.
fan in the fan
You
club. I
understand?
appreciate that,
And
brother.
then next thing you know, Puff was coming out the door. When Puff was coming out the door, he said, come on, let's go. I got in the car with Puff, and we all went to the Peterson Museum.
Okay, so when you said like they're taking money from your man, Biggie is standing there hearing you saying this?
Said it directly to him.
You said it to him.
I said it directly to
And
him.
he's about to finish up with the last album, and then he's getting $60-some million with him, with Little Kim, with all these other guys that is going to start his own thing.
Bruh, he was finished with his album.
He was done with this album.
He was done. Big was out there doing no work on his album. Puff had set him out there to do work on his album,
Got it.
not on Big's album.
Right.
Because every time we was in the studio, we was doing work on Puff album.
Now, why is Puff allowing you to talk to Biggie like that? Because you're not helping Puff out. Puff is paying you. Why would you talk to one of his guys?
Hold on, I just want to interrupt it right there, because the thing about it is there is evidence that Notorious B.I.G. was leaving. And the album is done, right? So he's not out there. There's no reason for him to be in LA. So by his album already being done and was about to drop a couple of weeks after this time, there was no reason why he shouldn't have been able to go ahead and go to London as scheduled, right? Unless somebody didn't want him to go to London because they needed him in LA for something that was about to happen. Another thing I want to add. Why? Widow Love 33, welcome. Good morning. Good morning. Why, if Puffy Jacket has his own studio in New York and has access to other studios in New York, why would he even have to do any work in the studio in LA? Hey, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it, Angel. How you doing, bestie? Hey, talking with JoJo, bestie. Thank you for that heart me. So you can't tell me that it makes sense. Now, in the video that I posted yesterday, it stated that even after, hey, thank you for that heart puff, Tiffany. I appreciate it. Thank you for that goat, Mr. Zay. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Even after the Notorious B.I.G. passed away, Puffy Jacket focused more on his album and making sure that he got the pub in the Rolling Stone magazine. You get me? Even after he lost his quote unquote what's supposed to be best friend, he was still worried about himself. And he even made the comment that Notorious B.I.G.'s album, Katie, thank you for that heart meet. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Denise, thank you for the follow. The album sales from Notorious B.I.G.'s second album. Oh, my big brother in here, MF Uno. Shout out to you, brother. Peace and blessings, big bro. How you doing? My nephew and niece is doing okay? He even said that the sales were better with, okay, let me put it in the words he put it in. He thinks the passing of Notorious B.I.G. benefited the sales and made them more sales. Yeah, bro, they are good. Okay, and you doing good too? Right. FM, right. Exactly. I'm with you on that, big bro. You know that. Hey, Katie, thank you for the hand heart. I appreciate that, love. You know I'm with you on that, man. So with those factors being brought up and brought into play, the closer we get to the untimely, the tragic incident that happened, it seems he's gotten every right. I'm talking about Puffy Jacket, every right to stop everything from happening if he wanted to. Jenny says his mama never got the justice she deserved before her passing. She didn't. And that's what I was saying when I opened up too, Bessie, that even his mom, even Biggie's mom even said that the LAPD know who unalived her son. And so with that, it takes me back, like I said, when we think about how the fingerprint cards got destroyed at the Kid Cudi scene, what happened in his house involving Puffy Jacket. It makes me feel like that he already had people working for him in LAPD back then too. Am I making sense to everybody? We're gonna keep going.
That's the boss is Puff. Puff is paying you. Why are you talking to Biggie that way?
I'm gonna talk to them any kind of way they talk to me. My whole thing about it is you gotta understand, I'm not that dude that you could talk to and have that kind of conversation with you. It wasn't about pay. They needed me more than I needed them. They needed me because they felt safe because I worked for Chaz Williams from Black Hands.
Who's paying you? Who's paying you at the time?
Who's paying me?
Yeah.
It depends on what day it is.
But when you're in L.A., who's paying you when you're in L.A.?
Well, I found out it was Arista Records, but it was for Puff.
Okay, I mean, Puff is paying you, so you're there.
Pause. So, Arista Records is ran by Chive Davis. And we've already covered in numerous of shows how Chive fronted Puffy Jacket the money to even start Bad Boy. Right? We've already talked about that. Now, Chive was sending Big to London to do promotional work in London. But, once again, the narcissism of Puffy Jacket steps in and he sabotages that trip and forces Biggie to come to LA. Widow says, that's why P hands are clean. He had everyone else do the dirty work. And see, that's exactly what, yes, I'm so glad you said it, because that's why I'm trying to tell these people. I'm like, listen, because they keep saying, like, they can't charge him Ricardo charges. He didn't do it's only DV. It's nothing. And I'm like, but listen, the one thing he was smart about is the fact that he had other people carry out plans. But the thing about it, anytime you have anybody on a payroll carry out criminal activity with and for you, that's when you enter the realm of Ricardo. Period. It doesn't matter if you like it. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's sinister enough to be considered or fall under that category or that act. It's facts over feelings. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad you brought that up, because to the point, as far as having a criminal organization or running a criminal organization, he had people do his dirty work.
There, but your comment towards Biggie is creating a division between Puffy and Biggie. No, like, I mean, Biggie's going to be like,
But bruh, he already had a division with Puff.
So
their relationship ain't what like people thought it was.
So at this time when he's
now shout out to Big G. Now he's letting us know they weren't as cool as it appeared, or that Puffy Jacket wanted to make us believe. And I'll tell you something else to that. All the times you hear Notorious B.I.G. say Puffy Jacket's name in songs, that was because Puffy Jacket made him or wanted him or told him to do that. And at one point, he was like, man, I already done said your name. Big told him, I already done said your name like 5 times, man. Like, but see, now if you stop and you think on that, that was still a framework to make it seem like Big was shouting him out and bigging him up, and they were so cool and this, that, and the third, when in actuality, none of that. None of that. Once again, that's Puffy Jacket putting some framework on stuff so he can create a narrative or make us believe something that's not true.
Has he already told you, yo, Gene, I know you love Diddy, Puff. If you didn't
we had
love
that
him,
conversation the week before that.
Well, I'm telling you, you'd go with him. So everybody at this point, does everybody know he's gone? He's moving on. He's doing his own thing.
I think Puff knew it too.
Puff knew it. Had they had the conversation yet or not?
I don't know
yet?
if they had that conversation.
So is that public, or did somebody leak it to Puff? Like Puff is learning from somebody else that told him about Biggie's going to be doing his own thing.
Pause. Let's tie this in. Now, Big and Puff may not have had the conversation as of yet. But if you go and you look in the book that is Kim Porter's book, and I'll say allegedly so people don't have to get butthurt behind it, but in that book, she stated Camel Face had told Puffy Jacket about the move that Notorious B.I.G. was making as far as leaving him and signing with another label for more money. Now, if they haven't had this conversation, I'm talking about Big and Puffy Jacket, if they hadn't had that conversation, hold on, Widow Love says it's all about what you have receipts for. And those are all verbal contracts. And he made facts on that. But if they didn't, hey, what's up, Demetrius? Good morning. If they didn't talk about it, I'm talking about Notorious B.I.G. and Puffy Jacket, then to the best of Notorious B.I.G.'s knowledge, Puffy Jacket wouldn't know about the move he was making. However, on the flip side of the coin, Puffy Jacket, knowing that him and Notorious B.I.G. hadn't had the conversation, knows that Notorious B.I.G. doesn't know that he knows, because Camel Face had already told him. Yes, R.I.P. Biggie, for sure. The GOAT. The GOAT.
Bruh, if you got to understand this, Clyde Davis and them has spent a lot of money, you understand, to make Big into a superstar. If somebody write up a contract from another record label, Capitol, Atlantic, who you think they gonna tell first? They gonna tell the other head, yo, you know, your boy coming over here, you know, we got them, you know what I'm saying? He bringing us 6 groups. Lil' Kim had became a multi-platinum artist, you understand? Lil' Caesar's a gold artist. Cameron is showing promise.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? So you think
Hey,
the
Jessica,
two
thank you
bosses,
for that heart me. You doing all right?
The two bosses of those record labels ain't friends. They don't know each other, and they not going to tell each other what has been drawn up for them to go?
Okay, so fair. So let's say at this point you got.
There says, where's Faith Evans? I don't think she's going to speak. However, please go on my page and look at the video I posted yesterday where it's alleged that she's in on it too. She knew what was going to happen. That had been stated, but then yesterday it's crazy. A lot of things we talked about in yesterday's show, after we ended it and throughout the day, I've seen what other people were posting about it, and I shared it. So, yeah, it's alleged that she was in, she knew what was going on anyway. So, hey, Bestie Marie, how you doing? I don't think she's gonna say nothing because she was covering for Puffy Jacket prior to now.
Guys, so now you guys are leaving, okay?
Right.
What happens next?
We get to the Peterson Museum.
Okay.
When we get to the Peterson Museum, I jump out the car. I go and see the people at the door. And then I notice this guy named Chris Lattimore. Him and Puff always do parties together. When him and Puff is always doing parties
Indeed,
together.
Indeed.
A light bulb go out, like, yo, damn. That's why he wanted
That's right,
Big at
Rita.
this
She was
party.
mad at Charlie Baltimore. You
understand?
know what you're
Because
talking about.
You got to
Yep.
realize Big was supposed to be in London. But he had told Kirk Burroughs that Big wasn't going to London. You understand? Whatever you got to do, he ain't going to London. He going to this party. So I'm like, damn. And it was like every day he was throwing that in Big face the whole time we was there. And I just found out recently by watching a YouTube show, you understand, Math Hoffa, that
Right. They wouldn't listen to
More
us.
boxes.
That's a commercial. They wouldn't listen to us. They don't listen to us now. If you pay attention, more people are trying to vindicate Puffy Jacket or trying to pronounce that he's innocent more than they are paying attention to the breadcrumbs of evidence and detail that can help you put everything together. And you know. Tara says, I got invited to a white party and couldn't go. I was mad I couldn't go at the time. Now I feel blessed. You know, there's a blessing in disguise, right? And God's timing is always on time. So that's another reason that is this is just like, it gets to me, man. Like, and people hop on here and say, you know, they don't have anything on him, on Puffy Jacket, and, you know, stuff like that. Like, come on. Amanda Sweet Treats, thank you for the heart me. I appreciate it. How you doing this morning? It's like, come on, man. Like, how much do you have to see? How much smoke do you have to inhale before you realize there's fire? Missy says, I grew up when this all unfolded, and I always thought Puffy Jacket did that to Biggie. I agree with you. Now, in the beginning, I'll be honest. In the beginning, I thought it was just some L.A. people who, you know, they liked Pac and wanted to get back at Notorious B.I.G. So that's what I thought. But as time went on, really, I say about around 2011 when I started really finding out and knowing about the I'm not gonna say it in case they shut me off, but the higher echelon, the elite group, that's when it started to tie in like, uh-oh, okay, hold on, there's something here.
He's called. His name is Clark Kent. Clark Kent, the DJ, who's also a vice president of Motown Records at one time, said, I was in Big's room that night before he got murdered. And I
We love
asked him
TikTok
what he was
Shop.
going to do. He said, D-Rock and Puff set this
R.I.P. to
party
Clark
up
Kent.
for me to go to. You understand? I carried that stuff on my heart for years because I thought I had let him down because I thought that I could stop Big from going to that party. You understand? There's nothing I could do to stop him from going to the party. So now we at the place. I see Chris Lattimore. I say, yo,
let me
we got
pause
like
this real
23
quick.
people with us.
Because Gene had just stated what he was feeling in his emotion, like he felt that it was his fault that he couldn't, he wanted to stop everybody from really going. He wanted everybody to not go because he had gotten the word that they were going to come for him. They was going to come to get at him. But we had somebody when we first started the show today, and I can't remember his name. I thought he was a boy, but he wasn't. But he was saying that, hey, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that. Widow Love 33. Shout out to you for becoming the number 28 fan in the fan club. Thank you for the love and support. We appreciate it. You're always welcome here. Hashtag I'm going to say it. He was saying that Gene is clout chasing for money. Okay. Well, he just told you his reasonings for doing all of this. He did what he tried to save them people. Puffy Jackie didn't listen. It bothers him because his words, he says that when he pulled Notorious B.I.G. out of the truck, he had passed away in his arms, basically. Thank you for the heart puff and the TikTok and the tiny diny. Thank you, Widow Love 33. I appreciate it. Tara says, I love how you say Puffy Jackie. Hey, we got to stay out of trouble on here. On the original platform, when we'd say his name and Camel Face his name, man, we got shut down. Did we not, Bestie? They always was messing with us, So we had to be creative on how to say it. But get the point out on who we was talking about. You feel me? But so he felt that, one, Puffy Jacket put Big in that situation and that happened. Two, Puffy Jacket disrespected Big's mom. And prior to this, when Wolf passed away, Puffy Jacket disrespected Wolf's mom. And so that's why Gene is doing this stuff and talking about this stuff. I don't necessarily think it's a clout chase thing. I think it's about harboring these feelings for so long. When especially like he was just saying, he felt like he failed at saving everybody, and he's a security guard. That's his job. You understand? So he probably these emotions, these feelings they were on his conscience for so long. Why not say it? Hey, good morning, cousin. How you doing? Why not say it? I don't understand how I feel like people are missing the truth. Like it's like a shallow thing. Like it's instead of getting deeper into everything that's happening, it's just like, man, nah. They just got a BLK man on trial for this, but there's other people that do it, and they're not on. I get all of that. I do. But don't allow that to make you lose sight of what's going on. At the end of the day, Puffy Jackie did a lot of people wrong. You get me? And then you fall. Well, why people didn't go to the police and tell police and this, that, and the third. And they did. But some of the police officers were working with Puffy Jacket. So that got nowhere. Widow Love 33 says, there's also so many other people that need to speak, but for this case. And that's true. It really is. The thing about it is, I don't know if they still are in fear, and that's why they won't do it. Now, it won't be any good. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for that heart me. I appreciate it. It won't do any good. But let's just say that that at the end of the trial, the verdict comes back, and Puffy Jacket is sentenced to the rest of his life behind bars with him. People know that he's not getting out. Then more people will start talking. Yeah, it won't mean a hill of beans as far as pertaining to the trial right now. But you got to think that they probably are still scared because, like we've said on previous shows, even though he's detained right now, he still has people on the outside that can put in work for him, that's willing to put in work for him still. Right? Yeah, it's not what they charging him for. Like, really, it's not. And I mean, because there's a lot of other things that he could be charged and should be charged for, but that's not even on there, you know. Yes, Widow Love is right. He has given his victims life sentence. Exactly. Rochelle said then him and R. Kelly can sing gospel music. Yeah. Hey, you know, it's almost like it's a three-headed monster, right? One, R. Kelly is already in where he's in and been there. You have one on trial now. There's one more they need to get that's part of that trifecta.
I watched all 23 guys go through the door. They stopped right there. They took us up the escalator. They put us into a section in the back to the left where cars was at. You understand? Puff said, bring me all the bottles you got left. So Puff, they brought all the bottles that they had left in the back. Puff took like that. Then they just started partying.
Oh, yeah.
Big didn't have no smoke. He told
There's
Little
going,
C's,
absolutely,
C's,
Widow.
go
I
find me
believe
some
that
smoke.
too.
So Little C's went and found some girls who had some smoke. They came over and they started smoking.
Bessie says, I think the government set the stage after R. Kelly trial.
behind Big.
Facts. They ain't playing no more games.
I'm looking at, you know, it's a lot of bloods and everything.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Chive need to be on
So I take
here
my
too.
gun and I put it behind my back.
Chive
and I
need to
kept
be in
my
here.
arms behind my back with my gun out.
You're standing like that.
Huh?
So I would know if you're standing like that.
Yeah.
You're standing like that.
Yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, I'm like this with my hands behind my back.
Right.
You have
Yeah,
a
at least they
suit, you
can
have a
get in
jacket.
true.
What do you got on?
be
No, I got
charged
a
too. Yeah.
Mecca.
Exactly.
I got a Mecca
Dr.
audio
Rashida,
black
good morning.
shirt
Thank you
with
for
the
that
number
heart me.
4.
Okay. So I can
TGIF,
tell that
bestie.
you're carrying.
Francis says,
If
what's the
I'm-
difference
the
between...
average guy's going to know
Yeah.
you're carrying. Okay,
Right.
got it. And you're behind
Okay.
Big at
I'm
this
behind
time.
Big.
Okay.
What's the difference between Puffy Jacket and... You talking about Hugh Hefner? Melanin. If you want me to be honest. Lisa, thank you for the heart me. Dr. Rashida, thank you for that TGIF. I appreciate it. I mean, if you want me to be honest, I mean, that's what it's basically about because, I mean, Bill Cosby was at the Playboy Mansion with Hugh doing the same thing. And Bill, you know, faced with, you see what I'm saying? Missy says, I think he had something to do with Kim Porter's past. Absolutely. Listen, anytime a person buys a casket 3 weeks before you pass away, thank you for that dolphin, Dr. Rashida. I love it. Anytime you do that, to me, it seems like you already know something's going to happen because you've already put something in place. Yeah. She definitely went through some yeah. She went through that. I was watching this guy that I follow. I like spirits and ghost hunting and stuff like that. I love that stuff. Paranormal activity. I love it. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for the budding hearts. I appreciate it. Oh, and good morning. Thank you. Thank you. Who gave me the good morning? That says Tink. I think it says Tink. Am I right? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, he bought her casket 3 weeks prior to her passing away. Come on. Come on, man. But I watched this guy. He does it's called he does grave it's called graveyard shift, right? That's the name of the group. But he went and visited Kim Porter's grave here in Columbus. Um and he talks to him with EMF reading, and the thing is, you don't know for sure because it's a resting community. It's a cemetery, so you don't know who all spirits is conjuring up and talking. But he asked the questions and he gets some response back. But the one thing that got me is that he asked if she was upset or mad at Cassie. And she said, "No, I'm not." And so what we if you know, Kim Porter provided Cassie with a lot of evidence before she passed away. And so again, before you stop and say free him, he didn't do anything wrong. Is this, that, and the third? It's cover up. It's diversion from this and that and the third. Let's focus on the things that he really did do wrong. And maybe it's just time for him to face the music. Yeah, he did wrong by trying to sue the liquor company. I mean, but you get me? He gets what he. I'm sorry, I just don't understand the logic. Missy says Russell Simmons' ex-wife spoke on Kim Porter. There, yes, she did. What is her name? I know who you're talking about. She was the model. Um, what is her name? Kimora Lee, I think is what it's called. I think that's her name. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you're right. She did.
Okay, I'm tracking.
Big. They say they about to close the place.
What time is it at this time?
Probably about 11:45, close to 12 o'clock, something like that. And they about to close the place. So then I said to one of the dudes, Paul, I said, "Yo, Paul, you good?" He said, "Yeah, I'm good." I said, "Here, hold this." And that was a Glock 26. I gave it to him.
Well, TikTok shop.
You understand? Because I had another weapon on. I had my personal weapon. I had not my personal weapon on me, and I had a Glock 26. And I said, "Yo, hold this. I'll be right back." I went downstairs and got the cars and put them right in front of the door.
Hashtag True Podcast in the
Big
building.
car
Good
and
morning.
our car. You know what I'm saying? So when Big comes out, because it's going to take him a long time to walk out, that we'll be right there. We didn't have to wait for the cars or anything.
Man, I hate commercials. Remember, people, at this time, Notorious B.I.G. is walking with a cane because due to the leg injury that he suffered in the car wreck with Lil C's and with Charlie Baltimore.
Big comes out. Everybody comes out. We walk. It's taking time. I go back upstairs. We walking real slow because Big could barely walk. They was pushing him around Cali in a wheelchair. You understand? He didn't want that look when he went upstairs, so he came up on a cane. I think he had fractured or broken his fibula bones in his thighs or something like that. So he wait time he gets in the car and everything like that. So then I'm thinking we ready to go. And we were supposed to be going to Steve Stout's house.
He shouldn't have been
Steve
anywhere
Stouts
instead
was a
of
producer.
home to recover for real. Facts.
I don't know. He's some kind of bigwig or manager, producer, something like that. So Steve Stout, we supposed to be going to his house, but then I got a phone call because I had called Chaz. Because Chaz was already there. I didn't know where Chaz was at. Chaz was out there with the Black Hand Mob, with the crew. And I had told Chaz, I said, "Yo, Chaz, it's looking real shady up in here." So Chaz was coming from Steve Stout's house down to our house. Down to the Peterson Museum.
Facts, widow.
So he said, "Yo,
it is the start of
don't
the
go up
biggest
to
takedown. You're right.
y'all don't go to Steve Stout house." But what good is to tell Puff?
Tara says, I can't
So the
believe
23
Puffy Jacket
people
had the audacity to do what he did
came in us with
at
us.
Prince's house.
It was only 12 of us
that's
leaving.
wild. I mean, that's crazy, crazy work.
Oh, no, 11 of us leaving.
23, 11 leave.
Yeah.
12 stay.
11 stayed. 12 had already went to Steve Styles' house.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because they were probably feeling a certain kind of way up in that Peterson Museum.
Sure.
You know
Sure.
what I'm saying? What kind of disciples are those?
How many of them are alive today? Most of them
That those 12?
that left.
Yeah.
They're alive. Most
There's
of them.
a lot- most
Okay.
of them alive.
So 11, you guys leave.
Right.
What happens?
So now everybody gets in the car. So I'm like, yo, come on, let's go. Let's go. And Puff said, we got to wait for Paul. That's Paul and I think it's
That's the
Reggie
Uncle Paulie.
Blaylock.
That's
I'm
that's
not
that's.
for sure. The
Hey baby, how
officer
you
from
doing? I
Inglewood.
didn't know you came
I
in
didn't
here.
Never get a chance.
Everybody
to meet
say
him.
hey to my
'Cause
daughter.
usually when you do
XO
security
XO Queen
daycare,
K
people will come
XO
meet you and everything.
Hey baby. When he mentions Paul, that's a security guard. Now you remember a couple of days ago when Capricorn Clark was on the stand and she said Uncle Paulie was the driver that took Puffy Jacket and Q to the Kid Cudi's house with the intent to unalive Kid Cudi because Puffy Jacket was mad that Kid Cudi and Cassie was dating. Same guy. Same guy.
Anything like that, but I never met him. So we waiting for them to get their car out. 7 to 8 minutes later, this guy from the Nation of Islam that had a blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie, come walking down the block. When he gets to I had peeked right there. I peeked right there. When he gets to the third or second car, I just come out. And I'm come out. At this time, when we outside, I have my gun up under my
We
shirt.
love TikTok shop.
And I just lowered it. He looks me in the eye. I look him in the eye. He don't say nothing. He don't say a thing. He just turns around and walks back down the street.
Now, to detail what's going on, okay, everybody's leaving. They're shutting the Peterson Automotive Museum down. People are leaving. There was a party up in the hills at Scott Storch's house. Some people had already left. That was with them had already left. And now it's at a point where the last remaining 11 of their group or their camp or people who came with them are now leaving because they are shutting down the museum. Now, as this is happening, what he's telling you, and this is his words, he saw a guy with a bow tie, like a Nation of Islam guy, walking towards him, but he said he was coming for Puffy Jacket. But Gene intercepted him and stopped him and diverted him, and the dude turned around. So he never had the opportunity to get to Puffy Jacket.
So I see him go about 3 cars, because all the cars was lined up in a space right there. And after the third or fourth car, I went back into the driveway to say, yo, man, where your cars at? Let's go, let's go. You understand? So we had to pull up out the driveway. So we pull up out the driveway, and now we lined up to the cars
I know
that are
exactly what you're
lined
talking
up
about.
on the street. We lined up on the cars when they're lined up on the street. You know what I'm saying? So now, I'm like, yo, Paul, what's up, man? He said, yo, he getting the car out now. So the Reggie dude pulls up with the car, right? So I said, y'all ready to go? He said, yeah, we ready to go. So then I say, Paul, follow us. You know what I'm saying? We right there. Big is right here. Me and Paul is at his car. Big Driver is right there. A Big Driver, G Money and everything. I'm looking at him and I'm looking at Paul. Yo, y'all follow us. All right? Follow us. You understand? Paul said, okay. Paul goes back to his car. I stands on side of the car. I got my left arm on this, on the top of it, and my arm on the guardrail with my gun out, right? I got my gun out. I get on the side rail. Puff said, yo, Gene, get in this car. We don't need that. I said, how the fuck you, I'm sorry about that.
Totally fine, go.
Right. He said, how the F you gonna tell me how to do my job? How you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, yo, Gene, get in here. I said, man, what are you talking about getting in here? How you gonna tell me how to do my job? He said, get in here or you ain't gonna work another day for Bad Boy.
So, why would he want him to get in the car if he's protecting him on the outside? I stand sound like you crazy, bestie. I stand sounds like the color purple. It do. Yeah, that's how they talked on there. But why would he want him to get back in?
So it wasn't so much I was thinking about working for Bad Boy. It was the fact that I know it's beef out here. And if I don't get in this car, how I'm gonna get home? I'm gonna get back to the Beverly Hills Hotel. And then the fact, so then I gets in the car. As soon as I get to the car, he pulls the seat all the way back. So now my legs are sideways. I said, man, what the F you doing? I said, yo, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. He said, why? I said, Kenny, let me drive then. If you ain't gonna run the next 3 lights, let me drive, Kenny. Kenny takes off. We takes off from that spot. We didn't stop at it was a flashing red light. We didn't stop like that. We went across the light. As we going across the light, Tone, who's behind me, says, yo, Big them ain't coming across the light. Yo, somebody pointing a gun at Big. I goes to open the door, right? We hear something say,
Amazing why he wasn't at the party.
pap, 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 pap. Kenny guns the car going forward. I said, Kenny, what the fuck are you doing, Kenny? Kenny, what are you doing? He said, they say somebody shooting. Yeah, motherfucker, they shooting at Big. What the fuck is you doing, Kenny? He stops the car when we halfway block down the block. Did a backs up, do the U-turn, come back around. We see the car speeding out. We stop right in the middle, right in the front of Big's car with the other Suburban. Big cars look like airplane because all the doors is open. You know what I'm saying? Except his. You understand what I'm saying? All the doors is open. Nobody's in the car, nothing like that. Puff runs around to his car. Runs around on Big's side. Yo, Big, you all right? You all right? Tone say, yo, Gene, come on. Come on, Gene. Me and Tone jumped in the other Suburban and we chases after the car. We chase after the car and it seemed like we going up this hill, like a slant over there. It's like a hill going up that way. We get to the top.
Okay,
we get to
I'm
the
gonna
top,
have to
we
watch
don't see
that.
Nothing. We don't see nobody.
Who
We
said
don't
that?
see nothing. We don't see nobody. I said, yo, Tone, man.
Woke
let's
one.
get back.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out.
Those cats ain't got nothing. You know, Kenny, he does security. He got a gun. The officer got a gun. But was nobody there. So when we get back, you understand? D-Rock them is coming up. D-Rock, Lil C's, Paul. Now they coming back. So we was going about probably 3 to 5
Sorry, y'all.
minutes.
It's Rudy.
You know, chasing the guy right there, and then don't see him no more. So we come back. D-Rock is walking around with his hands on his head talking about, oh, they got my man. They got my man. Big is still alive. Wasn't thinking. Right through the driveway, it was ambulance, cops, and the fire department. Somebody called 911. They calling 911. Why?
Did y'all hear that? I'm trying to tell you. It's like, and the reason, like I told y'all yesterday, man, when we went to Los Angeles for our family vacation, I made it a point to go to that intersection. And like I told you all, you can still feel the events from that night at that intersection. I don't know if it's the spirit of Big. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Yeah, yeah, Tara. I had on yesterday's show. I had the picture of me standing in that intersection up here. I had it up here. Um, you can still feel it. Widow said it's literally so real for most of us. It really is. Yes, yes, we did. We lived through that. Was our time. Like I still remember. It was a Sunday morning. It was a Sunday morning, March 9th, 1997. I got up. Hold on one second. I missed something. I wanted to interview you on hashtag. Okay, hey, let's set it up. Let's set that up. Hashtag True Podcast. We'll talk about that for sure. I got up that morning. I was driving to the store, the corner store, to get a newspaper. And I heard Ryan Cameron. Shout out to Ryan Cameron. I've met this brother 3 times now. He's been cool every time. Ryan Cameron was on the radio and he was screaming. He was upset at the fact that we just lost another fantastic or phenomenal hip hop artist. And he was tired of it. I have a doctor, a Zoom. Okay, all right, Widow Love. He was tired of it. And when he said it was Notorious B.I.G., listen, when I tell you all, I couldn't, I made it to the store and put the car in park, and I couldn't get out to go in the store. It just hurt, and so, it hurt so bad then. But even going to the intersection and just being there, so that's why when he talked about the little driveway where the cars coming up at, I knew exactly what he was talking about. I saw it. I saw it when we was driving, when we was approaching the intersection. Peterson Automotive Museum sits on the right. And there's like a little driveway kind of thing. There's cars in there and stuff right now, but I knew where he was talking about right there, man. And so when he talks about the car that did the pew-pewing and then drove off, yeah, it's a little cut. If you cut back and you make it, it's like it's a little street. And if you're going fast, you're going to get away. Widow says, yes, these events affected all of us in that time. It did. It really did. Like, it's to, I even named my son, my firstborn son, his middle name is Christopher, after Notorious B.I.G. I've told this story before on my show, and I'll tell you again, proudly, I'll say it again. We went on a family vacation to New York, and we rented an Airbnb in Newark, New Jersey. I didn't even know it, but bringing the luggage in from the car, we're putting it in the Airbnb. Our kids are here, so we telling the kids what room is, they picking out their rooms and stuff. And so, hey, Natty, good morning. Thank you for that heart me. And I had no idea, but my wife, she walked back. I was going to tell her to come here. She could tell you. But my wife said, baby, did you see the picture in the hallway? I said, what? She said, did you see the painting in the hallway? I said, no. She said, come here, go look at it. I walked in, and it was Notorious B.I.G. Out of all, we from ATL, man. Out of all the houses, all the Airbnbs up that way, my favorite rapper, the one that I named my son after, well, his middle name, out of all the ones we could have picked, and understand, we had selected one, a different Airbnb prior to, but like a week before we was going up there, because I like we do our investigation on where we stand. I need to know everything. You got to always keep your head on the swivel and keep your third eye open. Uh, and so they had break-ins in there, and I was like, nah, I don't want to put my family in that situation. My wife's like, nah, we're not gonna do that. I was like, okay, so we'll find another one. And so that one that we found, that picture was in there. Now, I had already said one of my stops up here was going to be to go to Notorious B.I.G.'s childhood home. I already said I was going to do it, right? Now, we driving. And first of all, let me say this. If there's any New Yorkers in my life, I love you. And I say this with the utmost sincerity. You all cannot drive. I love you. I love you. But y'all can't drive. Y'all drive as if y'all stay in a high-speed chase every day, every hour. Y'all cannot drive. You know, I love y'all. Hey, Natty, I love y'all. I love my time there. I can't wait to come back. Listen, man, but they don't blink or what? You trying to get over for what? They got somewhere to be. You feel me? So you literally got to bogart and get in. I got off subject, but I had to get that out there because by the third day I was in with y'all. I got it, but them first 2 days, well, I was white knuckle trying to drive and gripping the steering wheel. But so we went to Do or Die Bed-Stuy on to Brooklyn. Oh, Florida. I used to live there, Natty. We almost got unalived and knocked over off a bridge in Jacksonville. So yeah, you're right. They can't drive either. But so we driving. I'm approaching the street, St. James. I'm approaching the street that Big lived on. We had to take the right to go down towards his house, right? And as we get to the stop sign, I'm listening to my Spotify. I play my Spotify in the car. I don't really listen to the radio. So I have my playlist set up, and I know there's music on there that I like to hear. So I don't have to hear commercials and nothing like that, right? And I have well over 3,000 songs on this one playlist. And so as we get to the stop sign to make the right to go towards Big's childhood home, Victory comes on with him, Puffy, and Busta Rhymes on it. And it's crazy because before I make the turn, I'm looking, make sure I can make the turn. And it comes on, and you hear his voice, 1, 2. I'm like, dude, I'm here. I got you. Okay. Out of all the songs going to come on, this song will come on. I hear your voice. I'm right here at your home. Listen, man. Listen. I believe in spirit. I believe in energy. I do. And I think that was just him blessing me. What he say, spread love is the Brooklyn way. I think he was spreading love, And so I'll never let these. That's some things that nobody will ever take from me. And I sat there on his steps. I sat there, man, and like I just had to take it all in. Like it's real spill. But all of this that he's saying, it's to me, it just makes me believe that Puffy Jacket knew or had a hand in or set it up. I do. I feel that way. We're going to finish it out, and then I'll let you all go for the day. Give me that.
Why didn't they respond? They right through the driveway. Nobody responds. And so then I'm down there. I went down there, and not one time I was thinking, I'm thinking, yo, usually somebody who do some shit like that, we love to come back to the scene to see if anybody talking, if anybody doing like that. So I'm not thinking that, yo, stupid ass to go across and get the
facts. Hashtag
the police
true
go
podcast.
across and get
they do, and I don't know why.
Ambulance people. I wasn't thinking like that. I'm thinking like
Bessie said Puffy Jacket had a hand in many people.
I'm not thinking about that. But I'm thinking when they calling 911, if they right around the corner, why they don't come through there?
Huh? We're going to stop it right there. We're going to leave it right there for today. Ambulance, police, firemen, everybody was right there and done nothing. Had to hear you had to hear the. Nobody thought to go to it. So they had to drive and drive and drive to see the side now, which it's not close to Wilshire. I'll tell you all something else that I discovered while out there in LA. The original death row record office or whatever is on Wilshire Boulevard. It's crazy how everything come together, man. It does. Hey, I'm gonna open up the panel. Anybody want to come up in the panel? Just put a 1 in the live. If not, that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and end the show. If you don't want to come up, Missy, you want to come up? Is that what you're saying yes to, or you just saying yes to the context of everything? You do. Okay. All right. Let's get you up here. All right. It's on you. Hey, good
Can you hear
morning,
me
Jesse.
okay?
Thank you for that heartbeat. I
Good
appreciate it.
morning.
Good morning. Good
Can
morning. How
you?
you doing, Missy?
I am loving your show. I'm loving it.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Thank you.
like
I
going.
appreciate it.
I promise you, it's like going down memory lane. Because, like you said, back in the day, we lived that, and
Yeah.
I remember everything that went. And it was from Tupac to Biggie. It was changing for us. So yes, it was. And yes, I think he had everything to do with it. I said it
Absolutely.
back then.
Absolutely.
I always thought he had something to do with it because if my best friend died, why would I come out with a song? What, a week or two later? No, you know what I mean?
Right. Right.
The
And,
I miss you song, right? I
right.
couldn't do it.
Right.
But you know what?
The
That's why
crazy
he's
thing
not getting
about
any
that,
royalties off that song.
he is not. You're right. I was just about to bring that up. He has to pay it to
Right.
Sting. You know, and
2,000
that's
a
again.
day or a week. I think it's 2,000 a week
Uh,
or 2,000 a day or something like that.
yeah, I can't remember, but you're right. It's 2,000. I can't remember if it's a day or a week, but you're right. But he deserves that. He
Yes.
deserves it.
And the bad part about it is I feel for the women. I do, and I'm not gonna say they weren't. Women can be women, and I'm good, but I'm a victim of molestation. I got molested when I was 4 years old, and I
I
was
hate to hear
raped when
that.
I was 7.
Mm,
I don't
mm.
for that, but everyone's the same. And once that happens to you, you need to get out of it. You gotta have a mind frame to get out of it. But these women are used to a lifestyle, and they have like some of the workers. Where am I gonna go work at? The one woman got blackballed because she couldn't even go for the guy that she was gonna work with. I cannot think he's or something. He was supposed to go work with 50 Cent in them, and then he ends up dying the day after she's supposed to work. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I do. I
That
love your show. You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Thank you, Miss. You have no idea how much I humbly appreciate that, and I pray that you come back and join us, Tara.
Oh, absolutely. Most definitely.
Grand
How you doing?
Rising.
Grand Rising.
Like a friend. Good morning.
How are you guys
But
doing?
no, thank you for having
Doing
me. I
good.
appreciate it. But yes,
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for coming up.
I mean, I have a
no
lot of things
problem.
to talk about when it comes to Puffy Jacket. I love how you say that.
we,
But we were talking about Biggie, and I just remember like when he passed away. Like, I'm 53 years old, so I've been around.
and so
when
hey,
he
just
when he
why? So
passed
that's all.
away, like the streets of New York were like flooded with people. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes,
It's just
yes.
something that's really embedded in my memory because like they were his hero. Like he was their hero. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And like my family, so like Me and my family were so when I talked about the white party earlier, we were involved with the music industry. We had an independent record label.
Hmm.
We had about 20 artists on our label, but we were independent and we were small. But we knew people in the industry or whatever. And my ex-husband is from New York, so he grew up in where was it? Oh God, Coney Island, right?
Oh, it's so
So
fun there. Hmm.
yeah, so like we used to go back and forth to New York all the time. I live in Boston. So
Oh,
um
okay. I was about to say because you got the accent too, like.
yeah, I know. But long story
Yeah.
short, like I got invited to the part we got invited to the party because we were in the industry, and at the time I was so mad because it was like last minute, and I had two kids at the time and I couldn't find a babysitter to go to New York because we were in Boston. And
Okay.
so I was really, really upset at the time. I was like, oh my God, like I can't find a babysitter, you know? And now I'm like, oh, I'm so blessed because I couldn't imagine. Like, I know like the parties, like he said, like, like at a certain point, like, you got to
They
leave.
change. Yeah.
That has been reported like over and over again. But still,
Hmm.
like, I was young and stupid during that time. Like, God knows what I would have gotten into. So I had a lot of protection.
Well, and that's good. Sometimes and people, I don't know if why they don't get it, but we have angels here on earth too. You
Yes.
know, and so
Yes.
by you not going, that was angels protecting you, right?
Yes. 100%. 100%. My ancestors, 100%. Like
Yeah,
I
I'm
was,
with
but
you.
I remember at the time I was just so mad because I was like, I was thinking, I was like, oh, this is one of a lifetime opportunity. And we have to remind each other, like during that time when people heard about the white parties, it wasn't broadcasted. We didn't have social media. It was
Facts,
all by word of mouth. You know what I mean?
facts.
Like
Hmm.
it was nothing like you could open up your phone today and say, "Oh, look at that party or look at this event of the celebrities are doing." But during that time, when you heard about like these white parties, it was like underground, like, "Oh, it's a place to be," you know?
Right, right.
And I was just like, "Oh God." But now I was like, when all this came out, I was like, "Oh wow." I was so mad during that time, but now it's 100% a blessing.
Absolutely. And like you were saying, back then, man, we were young, so we
Yeah.
wouldn't have known when to leave. We would have been having so much fun.
Yeah,
You get me?
exactly. I wouldn't have left.
Right. It been right up in the mix and not even meant to. You didn't mean to go for that. Like that's not what
Yeah.
you didn't say I'm going to the party to do this. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right, right.
You know?
Exactly. And that's what all the victims say. Like all the victims that have come forward, they've all said the same thing. Like, they either went to a party or got involved with working for him. And like, they're in their mind, they thought it was going to be, even the witness yesterday, she thought it was going to be, a big career for her. And it turned out to be something totally different. I don't
Yeah.
want to say too much on the TikTok,
Right.
because
They sensitive, right?
yeah, they're sensitive. You have to talk like a toddler here.
You do. You do. That's the hardest thing because like I said, we have to play charades when we're trying to make a point and everybody's like,
Yeah,
you that no, that's not okay, you mean that? But
it's so annoying.
yes, yes. But we got in trouble on the original platform, so we have to, you know.
Yeah. So is that why
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of followers?
Well, I didn't even believe it or not. I got more followers now than I did on the original. On the original, we had just cracked like 3,100 followers, but
Oh wow.
I had been part of the what your shoppers program thing where where they send you stuff and you sample it, do your video and stuff, and
Oh
give your
yeah.
review on it. I had all of that going, and we would always talk about this guy, Camel Face, um, and the tangerine temper tantrum throwing person that's in the White House right now, and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
they shut it down completely.
Wow, that's horrible.
They
Yeah,
permanently
because I
banned me twice.
I looked at your following and I was like, what the hell? Because you're so amazing. And I was like, I
Ah,
thought,
thank you.
of course. And everybody got to tap the screen and share the live out. And if I had coins, I'd give it to you, but I don't have any coins. I'm
I,
broke right now.
listen, your presence is the gift.
Oh, please.
You understand? No, for real. That's one thing we pride ourselves. My moderators and I, we pride ourselves on making this platform family friendly,
Yep.
um, a safe place, a no judgment zone. Like, yeah, we on here and we're talking about um, hip hop stuff or celebrity stuff. But please understand, if there's any a time that you are in need and need something, we get all our people together and rally around and try to help out any way we can. If
Oh, I'm
somebody
so
knows
glad I
somebody
found
that you
you.
need, yeah, that's how
Yeah,
we work here.
that's
You know,
awesome. I'm so glad I found you today. I just was
thank you.
scrolling. I actually typed in Diddy trial like update and you came up. So
Hey, we making some kind of games.
yeah, yeah. So I'm so glad I found you. You guys are amazing.
Listen, thank you. You a blessing, and please come back often.
Of course. I'm a fan now.
All right, thank you. I
She a
appreciate
fan,
you.
she a fan, she a fan.
I appreciate it so much. I do.
All right,
You know.
honey. You take
All right,
care.
love. Take care. Be safe.
You drop me because it's better for the live.
All right, I got you. I love the energy. Love the energy. Love the energy. Love meeting new people and just vibing with everyone. I love it. This is what we do it for. You know. Anybody else want to come up in the panel for the one? If not, we're gonna go to our prayer and close out the show. We'll give it a few more minutes. Okay. All right. Did you watch the interview I sent? Refresh my memory because I get a lot of videos and I watch it, but I do believe I saw it. Just remind me. Oh yes I did. Yes I did. And that's why I was wondering if that was the one um, that flew from L.A. That well, okay. Let me tell the story correct. The lawsuit correct. If that was the one where they quote unquote met a talent agent, but that talent agent worked for Puffy Jacket and flew the boy and his family from LA to New York. And then the little boy said that when he went to the hotel and had the meeting with Puffy Jacket, and there was a lady there. He didn't say her name, but I'm thinking that might have been the KK lady. I'm thinking, but the lady that was there was the one posing as the talent agent in LA that flew them over, right? And he said that they offered him a drink and he got the pop. And when he was drinking the pop, he said it tasted funny, but he just didn't. I mean, he was young. He didn't think nothing of it, you know. And he ended up, what happened, you know. Think, uh, who do y'all think Mia is? I think she's KK. Uh, I, I don't. I didn't think that. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I didn't stop to even put that together. Hmm. Hmm. Because I never heard anything about KK being SA or anything like that. Mia is Sarah. She was his Sarah. Sarah who? What's do you know the last name, Missy? What you got? Write that down to do my notes and research. Snedeker? Is that how you pronounce it? Snedeker? Sounds about right. I don't know. Could be wrong, but sounds about right. Matter of fact, let me put that right here. So I'll remember. I'll look it up. It still may come up when I look it up though, even if we put it that way. It's close. It may be close enough to it. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Work for Revolt. Okay, okay. I don't know how that channel is still on. I still see it. I don't know how it's running. I'm gonna have to check into that. Hey, sis. Good morning. Sorry I missed most of the live. Nephew heard you and wanted to say hi. We love and I think and miss you. Hey, tell nephew I said hey. How's is he glad to be out of school? Oh, he sold it. Okay, yeah. I would change the name. I wouldn't want anything that was linked to him. I this is just not the time for it. Like this is just not good. Oh, okay, he is enjoying it. All right, you working today or you off today? Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I would have changed that name so fast. It would not have been Revolt TV at all. At the moment, y'all okay? Hey, enjoy your time off, sis. Take it easy. Take it easy. Enjoy it while you can. All right, listen, we're gonna go into prayer and close out the show. So, if you don't mind, if you are not uh, faith based or choose not to partake in it, um, you're welcome to leave if you'd like. Thank you for coming. If you don't mind it, join us in bowing our heads and giving thanks to our Lord and Savior. Let us bow. Dear God, we come to thee in prayer to once again say thank you, although we know it does not capture the true essence of how much we appreciate the blessings that you bestow upon us. It's at the least we could do is say thank you. And Father, we mean it a million times more than just thank you. Father, we pray that you keep all of us safe, sheltered, comforted, um, healed as we go forward throughout our day and throughout our weekend, Father. Pray that none of us take time here on earth for granted because one day you will return for your angels. And Father, I pray that we are all ready for that. Father, we pray that you forgive us for our sins that we've committed. We pray that you give us strength in places that we are weak, Father. We pray that you bless us with knowledge in the places where we're not smart or not capable of understanding the capacity of the things that we should know. Father, once again, we just pray that you be with us all, Father. Guide us, comfort us, and keep us. In your Son, Jesus Christ's name, let us all say, Amen. You all enjoy your weekend, and we will be back here on Monday, Lord willing. We will be back here on Monday to pick up any new developments and discuss new developments that's going on in the trial, and we'll talk on it. And if there's any more facts that we need to shed light on, we'll definitely bring you guys that as well. You know, thank you for joining hashtag. I'm gonna say it. Hold on. Let me shout out my gifters. Let me shout out all of the people for joining me today. You could have went to any other live, but you chose to rock with me. I appreciate it. Watermelon 22. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, I got to make that announcement too. So let me pause right here and let me make that announcement. Tomorrow night, that's 8 p.m. Eastern time, standard time. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., right here on hashtag I'm going to say it, we have a special show, and it's called Real Survivors of DV and SA. And we have four precious guests coming on for us, and they're going to let us know about their uh, experience, their uh, dealings with DV and SA. They're going to peel the layers back, people. And they're going to be transparent. And they're going to allow us to come walk in their shoes the best that we can and share those hurtful things with it. Like I said, like I've said this before and I have to say it again. These four women, the fact that they are making themselves vulnerable, the fact that they are allowing themselves to have to relive such trauma in hopes of helping and saving others, I am completely just at a loss of words. My gratuity to them is endless. It takes a certain unique kind of strength to do that, and they're doing it. They're willing to do it. And I am honored to have them on my show tomorrow night. So please, I don't care if you can, if there's any way that you can join, please join. If there's any way that you could take the time to share this information out with your friends or your family or anybody you know that's on here, but please do so. These ladies deserve that. Angel, no, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank Jenny, thank Dimple Cheeks, thanks Dr. Rashida. Like the fact that you all are strong and powerful and willing to do this. Wow. I mean, I am forever grateful for you all. Sis says, wouldn't miss it. Okay, 8 o'clock. We're going to be expecting to see you in there, sis. I appreciate it. Please get the word out. Please get the word out. And again, I know we had a show scheduled for Wednesday, this past Wednesday, that didn't take place. And that Deb was going to come on, who was a former fit model for Puffy Jacket. But it was her birthday, and she got a surprise gift from her friends. They wanted to take her on a all-girls getaway. And so we're just going to reschedule that. We don't have a makeup date set in place for it. But once her and I get together and we lock that down, I will pass that on to you all as well. But definitely tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Real survivors of DV and SA. And last but not least, let me give it up to I say it all the time, and I believe it wholeheartedly, to the greatest moderating team I have on TikTok. The greatest moderating team on TikTok. They hold me accountable. They let me know when I'm wrong. They let me know when I'm right. And I just love them for that. I love the fact that we can be honest with each other. I love the fact that they are willing to offer insight, input, and information to better the show and better the platform. Also, remember, we have hashtag I'm going to say it t-shirts available for purchase. If you'd like to support, if you'd like to let people know when you out and about, you mean what you say what you mean, get you a hashtag I'm going to say it shirt. Let them know when they see you. You about business. You're going to stand 10 toes down on what you say. All right? Peace and blessings, you all. Enjoy your weekend. See you Monday. This is Mr. Breaking News, your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, signing off from the newsroom.